right?
Yeah.
So Dash, I hope you don't mind. Real quick, I just wanted to interject.
I do mind.
You do mind? You bitch. You bitch, Carol Baskin. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens out there. This is Carol Baskin.
I don't get that.
Thank you, Trevin. You get it? You get it, Trevin?
I get it. I haven't even seen it, and I get it.
Thank you. Everybody, welcome back to Convosaries. I'm RJ.
I am Dash.
And I'm Trevin.
If you guys out there got it, we appreciate you for not only just watching Netflix, but watching the Tiger King, because that's where I got it from.
Ah, okay, I got you. You've
You
been
know what?
posting a lot about that tiger thing, bro.
Fucking hilarious.
And calling back to like that, we were talking about Wheezy the other week, and like Lil Wayne and how he's all the F is for something. I seen a meme that had his face on like superimposed on the Tiger King's like
Joe
mullet,
Exotic, yeah.
and he says, "Wheezy F baby," and the F is for fuck that bitch Carol Baskins.
Yes! Bruh, that is the most hilarious documentary I've ever seen, dude. Like, he will not get off of Carol Baskin. Like, you know that lady's name, because he's always like, oh, some bitch down in Florida named Carol Baskin.
So is she one of the people in the documentary?
She is definitely one of the people. Dude, you have got to watch this week, my bro. I swear, like, the day I watched it took us 3 days to watch it. That's just because we had shit to do.
Yeah.
But I would have watched it in one day.
Okay.
It's interesting. And the guy, he ran for president. Joe Exotic ran for president back in 2016. He was on the Republican? I don't remember.
Did he
I don't
go to
remember.
the primaries or what?
No, he definitely didn't go to primaries. It was Trump and Clinton. But there was a big thing. It was Trump, Clinton, and then Joe Exotic. Now that I watched the documentary, I absolutely remember this. I was just like, fuck. And like knowing the background and everything that he did and shit, man, it's like, I am so glad Trump became president instead of him.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I might have to watch it just so I can be in the know, but I've been
Bro.
making a point to not watch it.
No.
I've been on the train too, bro. I don't
Give
know why.
in. Give in. Trust me.
I can tell you've enjoyed that documentary, right?
I'm thinking about watching it again. That's just fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's real life. You don't.
It's not just
I
a
think-
reality show.
I think somebody said if this whole the whole thing, the story, everything was presented to like Hollywood producers who come up with movies and shit, Hollywood producers would be like, no, that's too unbelievable. Nobody would
It's
believe
too
this.
unrealistic.
Exactly, it's too unrealistic. But dude,
But it actually happened.
Is he a Florida man?
no. Carol Baskin is fucking in Florida. Joe Exotic is from Oklahoma. Yeah, not too far from us.
Okay.
And then there are some other people who own like big cats and shit in the documentary. But man, it's definitely about Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin, that bitch down in Florida.
Bruh,
Fuck that bitch
There's
Carol
some
Baskins.
crazy stuff that happens in Florida. Trevor's been showing me some videos. This dude called Ross Creations.
Shout out to Ross Creations
Shout
on
out to the
YouTube. He's a
homie.
vlogger.
Shouts out.
Yeah,
He does
that
the
dude's
most
fucking
random
hilarious.
thing, dude. Like there was this one skit where he was like, "I'm tired of working out in the gym," so he gets
Oh my
a
God.
treadmill straight up,
Yeah.
and he puts like a machine that can move when he's outside.
He
So
puts like a motor on it and handlebars and like and wheels, like
Uh-huh.
big wheels. And he's like, I'm tired of running in the gym all the time and I want to get out and get some scenery, you know?
Uh-huh.
And so like then it's him like running on a treadmill, but the
Outside.
treadmill is like
Is
a
that-
giant like scooter, like motorized.
Is it
that he's
moving?
Driving.
Yes.
Yes. Like,
Oh, now that's
around the
dope.
running track and like just like fucking people up. People are just like, what the hell?
He does things
People-
that make no sense, but it's hilarious.
People might think it's stupid, but I think that is dope.
Oh, he does like the coolest pranks and stuff out in public.
You,
and
Reg,
messing
are a
with people
Florida
in the
man.
store.
Bro, I used to live in Florida. I'm from Alabama, 2.5 hours away from Panama City Beach. I am basically a Florida man. I'm an Alabama man, so it's kind of worse. Oh, in the news, everybody out there listening, I'm back drinking again for this week.
Woo, shouts out. Let's
Hell
do
yeah.
a shot
I'm drinking
of that.
right now. Are we doing a shot?
Yeah. Well, let's just do it like a toast.
Like a sip?
Well,
Yeah.
I just got water.
It's actually bad luck to toast water.
Why is that?
Because it's not alcohol. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just
I'm not
bad luck.
superstitious, bro.
And well, neither am I, but I like to follow rules.
Listen, the other
It's a
day,
party foul. That's why,
Trevor-
Dash.
There we
the
go.
other day, I was walking under a ladder, and Trevor was like, "No, that's bad luck."
Yeah, don't
Walk
do that.
back. Bro.
I don't give a fuck about ladders. That's
Hold on, let's
not
do
true.
this, and I want to tell Dash about another thing. Dash, have you ever heard about splitting the pole?
No.
That's what I was yelling at him about. I don't give a fuck about a ladder.
Okay.
I am not religious or superstitious, but you do not split the motherfucking pole.
Exactly. I'm not superstitious, but you don't fucking mess up the superstition shit. So basically, splitting the pole. If you and I were walking side by side down the sidewalk, hand in hand, as we do all the time. No, we were walking side by side down like somewhere, and there's a pole in the middle of us. We do not split and go on either side of the pole. You got to
go
go
on the same side.
So, did you know the rule about who's older? The younger person goes on the side of the older person. That's really like I don't know how to avoid bad luck, I guess. I don't know what it is. I don't know what superstition is about. I just like to play by the rules.
The least religious and the least superstitious. Like, I don't believe in nothing I haven't seen personally, but
You believe in me, bro?
do you believe in love? No, but I lift my feet up when I drive over train tracks.
Mm.
You know what though? I never
do the
knew
hand
why.
thing.
I don't know why the train tracks, but I do know why when you drive over cattle grates, you're supposed to lift your feet up.
Why is that?
You ever seen those cattle grates when you're on the freeway, or like on a freeway entrance? And nowadays they usually just paint stripes and like grids, and it's almost like a crosswalk.
Mm-hmm.
It's to stop cattle from getting on the road because they can see that
Interesting.
and they know they'll break their ankles.
Oh, wait.
So
The cattle know this?
yeah, that's why they stopped using actual grates and just
Interesting.
started painting the grid lines.
Ah.
Okay. So,
But if you don't lift your feet up when you drive over the cattle grate, the idea is
That
you'll-
Carol Baskin will grab your ankles, fucking trip you up. I'm sorry. You guys have got to fucking watch this Tiger King. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was fucking good. But there's trolls that hang on to the grates,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll smash their fingers. You'll run them over. So that's why you have to lift your feet up. I know it
you're
doesn't
being
make
courteous.
scientific sense, but and if you don't lift your feet up and you run over their fingers, they'll find you when you're sleeping.
Damn.
And yes, that means you.
That means you guys out there.
okay. So I got a question for you guys who are superstitious, Trevor and Reg.
I'm not, but yeah.
Also not.
I mean, you
But
do
you
walk
don't mess with the
your-
train
with
tracks.
your hands up when you're walking past the train tracks.
No. It's if you're driving over the train tracks, you lift your hands up like you're going through like a roller coaster or some shit. I don't know.
So my
I
I
question,
know a lot
why.
of people that
my
do
question
both.
to you guys is: if you break all those rules, like don't break a pole and whatever, what happens?
I don't know. Bad
And
luck.
the trolls
and
are
shit.
gonna find you when you're sleeping,
see that shit.
and
that's
they're
new
led
to
by
me.
that bitch Carol Baskins.
That bitch down in Florida, Carol Baskin.
You guys are very interesting.
I cannot wait till you guys watch this. We're just gonna have a whole episode just talking about Tiger King, yo.
Oh, look at that! I fixed the audio quality a little bit.
Hey,
Nice.
you guys out there, does it sound better? 8 minutes in?
It shouldn't have been that
do
much
this
of a
for you.
difference, but it'll still make a difference.
Yeah,
I had an extra mic on. My
There
bad.
we go.
So how was your week, Reginald?
Oh, whole government name, huh?
Yep.
So today I met a guy who recovered from the coronavirus.
Shouts out to him.
Yeah, he was like talking to me like it wasn't shit. I'm like, damn, bro, back up. He said he had it back in like December, and like he was going through some shit where he needed to have a cardiologist, a person who does pulmonary shit,
Yeah.
one of those doctors, and then like a regular doctor. And ever since December, he's been going back and forth
Damn.
between them. They said that he had the symptoms and all that shit, and like he got over it. Now he's not contagious. He's gotten to where he's created really good antibodies, and now he's about to start producing antibodies for, I'm not gonna say it's a cure or a vaccine,
Yeah.
but to help other people.
Okay.
Yeah, he just stopped and started talking to me. I was making sure I had my mask on when I talked to him, but
That sounds expensive, bro.
definitely met that guy. I'm pretty sure it was expensive.
Sheesh. Don't get coronavirus, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't get coronavirus, please, people. Stay inside. I'm sure you guys have heard that, all week, all these past couple months. This has been a really hard 2020.
Yeah.
And now we're in 420.
Dude.
April 20th.
Yeah.
I mean, April 2020, not 20th.
It's crazy to think it's April already. Like.
Yeah.
Damn.
And nothing good has happened yet. It's still waiting on that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Are you guys learning anything new? Oh, I'm sorry. Before we do that, what have you guys been doing this week?
Oh, thank you for asking, Reginald.
Yeah, no problem. I was just gonna keep going, yo.
Oh, my week's been pretty packed.
Tell me about it, man.
Just been working with the homie Trevin. Been working with the homie Bennett. And
Real quick,
yeah,
have you noticed you said that every week?
yeah.
Trevin and
That's
Bennett.
all he does.
That's all I
That's
do.
it. That's it.
That's
I was
literally
just wondering
all I
if
do,
you
bro.
knew.
Yeah, and been watching some Convosaries. So
Hell yeah.
that's what my week's been like.
Because we are out on YouTube now, guys. Go
We are.
check out
Yeah.
our videos. We'll be promoting and all that shit. Go comment. Go do your thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, all available episodes are now up. So that's what I've been doing all week is just tightening up all that, making sure everything's ready to go. So we have launched on YouTube, and all available episodes you can watch now, and all future episodes.
And these guys have been working their asses off
Indeed.
trying to get these videos out to you guys. I appreciate you guys. I don't know if you know that.
For sure. I appreciate you somewhat.
We appreciate you, man.
Somewhat.
Somewhat. I'll take it. Anything I can get at this point. Anything I can get.
No, we all put in a lot of work here, and
Yeah.
We do.
I think we're all proud to see how this is going.
Yeah, it's a cool
How it's
team
coming
effort,
along.
dude. Like 13 weeks, not 14.
Dude, yes.
And
14 fucking weeks, man.
It feels like nothing. We're just getting.
Feels like we just started the other day.
It does.
14 weeks sounds like nothing to y'all listening right now, but shit, it's been
It's
work.
a lot. Yeah.
It's been
It's a
work.
lot.
And I respect a lot of the podcasters. And you know what's really hard is to get your friends to support you. Believe it or not, that shit's harder than you think.
That's the hardest part.
So, I think we have more people who aren't our friends supporting us more than our friends are supporting us, you know? And we
shouts
really
out to you
appreciate you.
guys,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Shouts out to all
y'all.
you guys out there.
Uh-huh.
Shouts out to
Gals.
y'all. So we appreciate it.
We do.
What have you been up to, Trevin?
Oh, just that. Just been in
that.
the studio. Well, my day job, I work in here now, as you guys probably know. I take calls from home. I won't tell you where I work, but
Work
and
for
then-
Jesus.
yeah, when I'm not doing that, I'm here in the studio.
Yeah.
Like I said, this whole week we've been just tightening stuff up, getting ready to launch YouTube,
Hell yeah.
and everything's up now. And
It's lit.
tomorrow, the day after we're recording this, episode 13 should go live on all platforms, including YouTube,
Yeah.
which will be a week ago for you guys listening.
A week ago.
About a week ago.
Hey.
Bobby Schmurd is
ago.
coming out of jail in December.
Oh,
for real?
shit.
Same as Takeshi 6ix9ine.
Tekashi.
Oh, yeah, I heard they're letting
Yeah,
Tekashi out
did you
because
guys
of
hear
COVID.
about that? Hell yeah. But they're not letting Bill Cosby out. Tekashi 6ix9ine is now on like house arrest, some form of house arrest.
Oh.
So he's definitely going to be making music. I'm sure he's definitely going to be back on on social media.
Yeah.
Because why the fuck would you not? Right
I've
now?
been saying that. Like, he's got such his own fan base already that they're still listening to him. He
Yeah,
gets
they don't
more
give a fuck.
plays. He gets more plays since he's been in prison than he did before that. So
Right.
he's went up in popularity.
Right.
So all the people are like, well, his career's going to die when he gets out of prison, or he's going to get killed. And I don't think he's going to go into secret or protective custody. Like, what do you call that? Like witness protection.
Right.
And,
He's not.
and
I don't think
he's just going to have his team with him, and I
Yeah.
think he's going to be untouchable, and I think he's going to be out there making millions still.
Like Charlemagne the God says, you're welcome, Trevor. Like this is 14th week of me
I was
straight
waiting.
up mentioning Charlemagne the God. But like Charlemagne the God says, like people don't fucking respect the streets anymore, man.
Yeah.
That is what 10 years ago. It wouldn't even be like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so true.
People just don't respect the streets like they used to respect the streets.
While we're on the topic of the streets, did you guys hear what Meek Mill and Jay-Z just did?
No, what did they do?
So they actually donated about 10,000 face masks to people in prison.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
through this joint thing that Meek Mill and Jay-Z have, like reform something.
Speaking of Jay-Z,
Yeah.
he also has a joint thing with Rihanna. And they just donated about $2 million towards coronavirus relief and all that shit.
Dude, so that's dope seeing these people who have influence helping out when things are ongoing as well, you know?
Dude, I don't even have influence, but but I know some people who are making masks. If you guys need them, I could hook you up with them.
Oh, for sure.
In case you go out or whatever. But one of my Twitter friends, I don't know this person in real life, but one of my Twitter friends is a nurse. So I'm gonna get the person that I know to make masks for her, and maybe even some of her nurse friends, and I'm just gonna ship it to them. I'm trying to help. You know what I mean? This shit's serious. We are.
Yeah. I saw this video on TikTok. You can make a mask out of like two. What do you call them? Fucking
elastic bands,
ponytails, like hair ponytails.
Yeah. Okay.
And a bandana, and you fold it into thirds into like a long piece, and then you kind of fold that in half with the. You'd have to see it,
right?
I keep seeing this video circulating, and it's really easy and simple to do, and like.
Yeah.
So go find that if you
That's
can.
what I'm hearing, but I'm still having other people do shit for me because I'm too lazy to try to create this shit for myself.
I can show you after the show.
I've been ready for coronavirus. Like when I went to Thailand, I got the face mask, and that was in 2017. So I was ahead of this game.
Hell
3 years ahead of this game.
We've been stocking up
3 years
toilet
ahead.
paper before it was cool.
I'm also 3 years ahead because that's when I went to China, and I'm just like,
so you went to China, you got coronavirus, and you got cured, and now you're good.
Sure.
But, you know, like you were saying about that guy you met that he talked about having it like it wasn't shit.
Yeah.
It's so weird because you see like some people get it and like they could be healthy too, and they were saying it's unhealthy in older people at first, but now it seems that it's not that cut and dry.
The age is going down or down, man.
It has some people it affects like a small cold, and some people it affects like the Spanish flu. It's just like there's no. It's so weird. There's like you don't see anything else like that.
I know a lot of people were talking about we've never seen anything like this, like coronavirus. Now, that's true to a certain point.
In our lifetime.
Yes.
True to a certain point. Now, the pandemic point, as far as it being like a completely global like epidemic, yes, we have not seen that in our lifetime. Other than that, we've seen H1N1. We've seen the swine flu, bird flu.
I had the swine flu.
Did you really?
I was quarantined in my room for 2 weeks, smoking cigarettes and playing GTA. I was in junior high school.
Living it up.
Dude, that does not sound like recovery.
At all.
I didn't give a fuck when I was at it. That's when I was on drugs and at like the peak of my like, you know, skipping school and fucking bitches or whatever.
Yeah, fuck bitches, get money.
Today's devil's advocate is: would you rather fuck bitches or get money?
Fucking bitches like Carol Baskin. actually, let me do the
totally
devil's
respect
advocate.
Women.
Right, I definitely respect them. My mom would kill me if she heard me saying that shit. Let me do the devil's advocate, actually. Believe it or not, I have one for today.
Okay, sure.
Devil's advocate is, would you rather survive the apocalypse or be taken out?
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll deep dive in that.
I'm going back to your thing about the we haven't seen anything as big as the coronavirus. I think it's also the shutdown aspect of it.
Exactly.
Like, yes.
That's why I was saying like the
cities
pandemic
are closed, bro.
aspect.
Have you seen videos and pictures of cities that are like New York City?
Well, I think I saw one video of New York City. Most of the other shit I'm looking at is like China, Italy, other countries. Like,
I hear
and
China's
there's
starting to go back to
South
normal.
Korea.
Nothing. Huh? What is that?
So you hear China's starting to go back to normal now.
Yeah, slowly.
Normal as far as I wouldn't say normal. I would say
like they're stopping the shutdowns and opening places back
People
up.
are going back to work and stuff. Yeah.
I was gonna say because there's been high ups, there have been not high lows, but low lows and high ups. You know what I mean? It's in my mind, it's starting to balance out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it normal life because shit ain't fucking normal, but you know what I mean?
But they've
it's
going
balancing
for 3
out.
Months. This is like the fourth or third.
Well, we did send 17.5 tons of PPE, protective personal equipment, over there, like masks, gloves, things like that.
Yeah.
And I saw something about like we don't have the equipment here in our hospitals, and
because
Trump's sending it to China.
Yes.
Like, he's like, I'm helping.
Okay, now here's a caveat to that. I understand that people would be pissed about him sending almost 18 tons of PPE to China, but you got to think about it. This was way back in like February. I say way back, but it's not that far. This was way back in February. Here's the thing. Maybe he was trying to prevent it from coming over here.
Maybe.
I am not a Trump supporter, but I understand that the office of the president needs to do certain things, and he has done certain things.
Sure.
He's fucked up certain things, but he's also done certain things. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's easy to be the president.
Nah.
Sure.
I do not support him, but I'm not gonna say it's easy to be the fucking president. The office, actually, me and my roommate was talking about this. Purely the office of the president deserves some type of respect because of all the shit you got to go through. Because I was actually gonna run for president when I turned 35. So in about 5 years, that was my plan to run for president. But now, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I don't think it's all that it's cracked up to be, and it's
Not
kind of
at all.
like it's kind of like Game of Thrones, you know?
Yeah,
And, like I don't even
100%.
fuck with Game of Thrones, but that whole like, I don't want to spoil anything.
Spoil it. It's been long enough.
The people who we want to have in power, the people who should be in power, are the people that know how to handle shit. Scientists, doctors, geologists.
And they don't want that power.
But those are the people that don't want the power.
Right.
Anybody who does want the power is going to be corrupt with it. And that's the problem that we face with politics.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what I said when this whole coronavirus thing started. It's like everybody's listening to what the government's saying and nobody's listening to what the scientists are saying. And those two things conflict in a lot of ways.
Well, I will say that Trump is actually starting to slide out of the way and let the scientists speak. He's starting to slide out of the way. Now, before, when everything fucking just first started, he was saying, oh, it's a hoax. I don't believe in it, blah, blah, blah. But he's starting to see that this shit's a fucking pandemic. You feel me?
Yeah.
And stuff's got to be done about this.
Yeah. It's a real thing.
You guys mind moving on real quick?
Sure.
So the question I asked earlier, we're still talking about Corona, but we're moving on kind of subjects. Have you guys learned anything so far?
From this whole like experience,
Downtime?
like,
Yeah.
coronavirus.
No, just downtime. Have you learned? Because like I said, I mean, I got back on my book. I'm learning
Oh.
quantum physics and all that shit.
Well, all of my spare time I spend mostly
Oh, man.
working.
Are you
I
learning
have-
anything from it though?
I'm learning some stuff about myself,
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
That's a good thing to know.
That is.
You know your limits. You know what I
Yeah.
mean. Your set-offs.
Yeah, there's something to.
Triggers,
I'm a
I should say.
procrastinator,
Mm-hmm.
and there's something
Same.
to like saying that you don't have time, and then all of a sudden you have a
Dude.
bunch of time, and you still are not doing that stuff.
Fucking
Yes.
same.
I was
Like,
about
that's
to
something
say
I've
that.
learned about
I was about to
myself.
say like the urgency. This makes you realize your life is so freaking short, and you gotta do things in the period you say you're gonna do it. Otherwise, that moment is gone.
And it's crazy because I heard this quote today, and it does have to do with the Corona thing, this whole era, the quarantine era, which is what I'm calling it, what I'm coining it.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm with it.
the quote was, "Adversity introduces a man to himself."
Yeah.
So that's interesting
Absolutely.
that you
Yes.
say that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and then I've been in a lot of fucked up situations that made me realize I have more inside of myself than I thought.
Yeah.
100%.
Same.
But this is a totally different thing.
Yeah, it's testing everybody.
Yeah.
Because like this is a stressful situation, and you could use that stress to like just trip and get scared, or
Mhm.
you could use it to make diamonds. You know, 'Cause
Right.
that's how
Word.
diamonds.
This is
are
definitely
formed.
under pressure, my man.
Exactly, bro. So yeah, use this to the best of your moment. Opportunity, man.
Right, dude.
Opportunity.
You said you've been reading books. Is there anything like particular you've learned from all this?
He's
Dude,
a scientist.
I'm just I do have a science gene in my mind. I believe I'm a scientist. No, I've just been trying to like learn about quantum physics, man, and relativity. Shit's fucking interesting.
That shit's crazy. I like quantum physics. It's interesting.
Isn't it crazy
The
how
way
that? Oh, what?
No, go ahead.
Isn't it crazy how the stuff that you learn from quantum physics is applicable to almost anything?
Dude, and that's the thing. Physics is literally around us. It happens every day.
Yeah.
Relativity is just like a really quick fucking explanation of what relativity means. So the Earth is moving at, I'm just gonna make up a fucking number, 2 million miles an hour, right?
Fuck yeah, it is.
2 million miles. You guys agree with that, right? The Earth is moving at 2 million miles an hour, but because of gravity, we don't feel that shit.
Yeah.
And what we say, you get in a fucking Mustang Cobra, right? And you go 200 miles per hour. That's going 200 miles per hour relative to not going anywhere, which is
Okay.
how we measure the Earth even though the Earth is already moving.
So the Earth's
We don't
already
take that
moving,
in.
so you're going faster.
Yeah, we don't
It's
take that part into account.
It's
We just-
200 miles per hour more than you were going.
Right.
Okay.
So the Earth would be
Relativity.
a constant. So almost like not moving,
Yeah.
even though the Earth's fucking moving. It's a constant. We just are moving 200 miles per hour in relative space to what the Earth is doing.
The shit fucking trips me out.
It's
dude.
crazy, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, the more you know on Convosaries.
I don't think you even guys understood what I just said.
You even guys.
You even guys understood.
Oh, man,
I wanted
that's
to.
dope.
There was something I wanted to bring up with you,
Yeah.
Reg. When this whole Corona thing started, and there was all the memes, and we were talking about that on an earlier episode. I remember asking you, do you think that this or the conflation between, with the memes, like the difference between the coronavirus and the beer company, do you think this is going to cause them any
I remember
loss
this
of
question.
revenue or loss of business? And you said no.
I said no.
absolutely not. They're going to be fine, business as
They've
usual.
lost $500,000.
So they actually shut down, as of
Oh,
yesterday,
shit.
CNN reported they have shut down all manufacturing of all of their beers in
Damn.
Mexico, which is where all their beer's made.
Damn, I did not know that.
So like I read that and I was like, that'll be interesting.
RJ was wrong.
I mean, guys, if you think about it, like we're all on the low end. Imagine having a company called Corona, and then something called the coronavirus comes through. What damage will that do to you, bro? Like,
It's either gonna damage you or it's gonna hype you up. One of the two depends on.
yeah.
there's no hype.
But
like,
at the same
it's not
time-
like anyone's running to get Corona beer. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
At the same time, I don't think that any of us expected it to get this crazy
No.
back
No.
then
No.
when we were
You
talking.
could even
about
look
it
at our previous
all.
episodes. I did not think it would get this crazy. I was like, man, it's gonna pass over. We're gonna be fine. Now
know-
I'm tripping, bro.
You know, Dash, I think about that every day. I'm like,
do too.
motherfucking
Yep.
Dash didn't believe this shit. Now look at his ass. Quarantine. Martial law on him.
Oh man.
But no, seriously though, they actually said it's supposed to be at its peak in the next like 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's supposed to hit its peak. So hopefully the peak doesn't take, after the peak, the downfall, I guess, of Corona doesn't take longer than the rise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't. But one thing, I listened to a podcast called Brilliant Idiots. Again, Trevin.
Yeah.
It's a Charlemagne the God and Andrew Schultz podcast, right?
Okay.
So I listened to them.
I know that show.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I think we've listened to it at least once.
I'm thoroughly impressed.
Oh.
I'm impressed.
I know some stuff.
But I know things. But yeah, so Andrew Schultz was talking about, he was trying to come up with names, like side names for this coronavirus thing. They came up with KungFLU, which is my personal favorite. They came up, what else did they come up with? They came up with a slew of things. There's a lot of things, but I'm just sticking with KungFLU. So rolling with that, right?
Yeah.
Rolling with that, a lot of people have been trying to pick up different types of hustle during the coronavirus, trying to make money, you know what I mean? Because shit, people are out of work, yo.
Yeah, and money's scarce right now.
Have you guys picked up a KungFLU hustle? Thank you.
That
Thank
was
you.
fucking good.
Thank you. That's all me, by the way.
That
That's
joke
all
of
me.
that joke of the episode.
You guys
like
know
it.
I love dad jokes.
You know, honestly, I'm trying to work on promoting the podcast because right now, if there's one business that's thriving in all of this, it's the podcast industry.
Definitely
So
content.
I'm trying to think of, as you guys probably know, we have like extra content we're throwing out for you guys. It's just audio, but we're releasing it for our loyal listeners, our Quarantine Chronicles.
Right.
And I'm just trying to find new ways to promote and get our show out there. 'Cause
Hell yeah.
I think we're worth listening to.
I think we are too. I listen to us.
Yeah.
I do.
I
Me
get
too.
a kick out of us.
I do.
If that's
Every
cringy, I'm
freaking
sorry,
time.
but I
Every-
listen to our show a lot.
I'm not
every
even sorry.
episode I listen to cracks me up, dude. Every freaking episode.
Because you forget what the fuck we talk about.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
was
like
we
listening
said
to
that?
it fresh, like
Yeah,
hearing
it is.
somebody else say
It
that.
really is.
Exactly.
So my KungFLU hustle is
Thank you.
like with everything happening. It just shows you got to be on social media, bro.
Seriously.
So I'm trying to pick up that side. of,
Dash,
like, beyond
dude,
that.
you
know what I'm
are in this bitch, man.
Bro, I appreciate it. I really
Yeah.
do appreciate it, man.
Straight up.
Like you know the legend Gary V.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's
I follow him on LinkedIn.
bruh. Like I'm pretty much doing what he's saying we should do because he's giving out free information.
Right.
All you got to do is execute
That's it.
Like what's gonna happen. Because this is like on social media, you're building your brand. That's your reputation right there.
Yeah.
Like it's leveled the playing field. It's no longer just like celebrities and these big people who have thing associated to them, you know? So when you're on top of that, your leverage is insane.
And Dash, you and I we come from pretty much the same industry, sales and shit, right?
Yeah.
So they sold us the dream of own your own business and all this shit, right?
Yeah.
But having this podcast and all that stuff, it shows you what it actually, takes to run your own shit.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Sell it.
And sell it. That's the thing.
I don't know if you know this, but I come from a heavy sales background
Did not know
as well.
that. Did not know.
I actually, my current job, I work in sales.
Oh, actually, I did know then.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I sell,
Shit. You sell shit.
catering packages,
Okay.
like multi-$1,000, like
Right.
business events, and like weddings
Oh, shit.
and stuff.
Okay. That's actually something I wanted to get into.
Oh, yeah?
Like, not necessarily the catering part, but the wedding aspect. I always thought I wanted to be like a photographer for weddings, but I'm thinking maybe once I'm at a place to buy real estate, I'm just going to buy land and try to like make it a wedding venue. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'll provide shit. I'll provide like, I don't know, buffet tables and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just something that's very lucrative in the summertime and very lucrative in the fall time. So that's something that could be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That could be part of my KungFLU hustle. But right now, I'm actually gonna start selling shirts because I got shirts. I say merchandise is what I should say.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of good ideas that are definitely freaking relevant to right now. I'm working on it right now. Bank of America is actually giving out small business loans.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about getting one of those to help me with a bunch of other stuff because
This is
I'm
a
trying
good
to
time
do
to get
different
a loan,
businesses.
too.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I have other ideas for different businesses that I want to do. So that's my KungFLU hustle.
Okay.
Nice.
While we're on the topic of careers, like let's go into the history of
Let's do
careers we've had and things we always wanted to do growing up.
Dash.
Before you get there,
Yeah.
I wanted to just bring up on the note of like merchandise and T-shirt sales. Hit us up if you would buy a Convosaries T-shirt.
Hell yeah.
Let us know.
We're just wanting the information right now.
Yeah, we have different phrases in mind, but just hit us up if you would.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Hit us on social media on convosaries@gmail.com, whatever.
Yay.
And you were saying about careers.
Yeah,
Yes.
so let's get into it. Like, I know Reg wanted to be a spy because he came with a suit and a gun.
I remember
I
that.
still would do
So-
that.
Dude, that's like the ultimate fantasy for
It
a
is.
guy.
It is, dude.
Right?
It really is.
Be like super suave James Bond.
Bro,
Bro, I low-key thought my parents were spies sometimes. But what did you always want to be as a kid, Trevin?
Ooh, that's tough. As
Or
a kid,
the one that stood out? Because when you're a kid, you want to be a lot of things. So
Right,
what's
right,
the number one thing?
That's hard. I went through a lot of stuff. I never really knew what I wanted to do. I never really had an idea like this is what I want to be. I never really thought about the future at that age. I always was just worried about what am I doing right now to get high.
yeah.
But I mean, for a long time I wanted to be a carpenter. I'm actually a licensed carpenter.
Nice.
A lot of my industry certs have probably wore
I'm
off by
envious,
now.
dude.
But
I can't build shit for shit.
yeah, I know how to do everything from roofing to flooring. And a big misconception with carpentry, people think it's just woodworking, like with a lathe or like just putting a 2x4 with a 2x4. But carpentry encompasses all construction that isn't welding or masonry.
Dude,
bricklaying.
you're basically Jesus. Him and his father were carpenters.
You know what's really funny is with that show we told you we've been watching The Colony,
Dave?
that really old
Oh.
show from
Yeah.
the Discovery docuseries from 10 years ago. There's this guy on there that we make fun of, and his name's Jim. And he's like, his whole identity on the show is he's a Jesus freak and he's a carpenter.
But the homie's a G. He gets stuff done.
Yeah.
Dude, but he's like the one that, like, when outsiders come into the camp and like try to steal their shit or fuck shit up, like he's always like the front line guy. He's
Bro,
always like,
he's on top of his
and you
stuff.
wouldn't expect it. He's like the tucked in shirt, like
Now
Ned Flanders going to church
Yes.
dad guy. But
Yes.
like when shit gets real, he's Yeah.
Remind me,
top of
is
it.
this like a scripted show?
No,
or
this is the
reality.
the reality show where they
Okay.
like throw them in a disaster situation and just leave them and
Okay.
expect them to survive.
Got you.
on their own.
Okay.
With commentary from Trevin Reiser.
With comment,
I should sell my commentary.
You should, bro. You should.
dude. No lie, that's a lucrative thing, especially on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like just doing like voiceover commentaries. That's a thing, dude.
I think I have the voice for
Think
it.
about it.
Yeah.
You have a great fucking voice, man. I love your
One
voice.
man in a world.
Have you guys heard about David Geffen's photo? He was well, not necessarily just a photo, but he has like almost a $500 million yacht, a $500 million yacht. And he was telling everybody to stay home because of coronavirus and shit.
I saw
but he's
that.
posting
He's out on the yacht.
on his yacht. Yeah.
Well,
I
you could
cannot
be on
fault
the yacht
this
and
man.
staying home at the same time.
Exactly. That's basically a
No,
fucking home.
but
I
then-
can't
yeah.
fault this man.
You can what?
I can't fault him.
Okay, yeah.
If I had a fucking
I
$500
do the
billion,
same thing.
$500 million yacht,
I do
same.
the same. Yeah.
Exactly.
Word, dude.
Exactly.
I feel
Talk
like you
about
get
social
bored.
distancing.
No, you get bored eventually. Like, think about it. You're on a yacht for like 3-4 weeks.
No. But here's the thing.
As opposed to
He
being
has
stuck
other
in your
homes.
house.
He
He
has
does.
other homes.
But
he
can he go to those homes? Is the
He can
question.
sail to his other homes, man.
Can he go to those homes?
Why not?
He's in a
the
yacht. He can
countries
go
might
wherever
not
he
let
wants.
him in.
People are still flying right now.
That's crazy. Dude.
People are still flying.
Yeah, we live right here in the city. I go out in the backyard in the morning and I see planes landing. And
Dude, and that actually kind of prevented our guest. We were actually supposed to have a guest, guys, this week, but we're gonna probably end up doing like Zoom or something.
Yeah, and we're following guidelines too.
For sure.
yeah, we're postponing
should-
having guests in the studio
Exactly.
until this whole thing blows over. Unfortunately,
Exactly. But yeah, so like I know that affected our guests, so I know people are still fucking flying.
Yeah,
It's just crazy. I didn't think people were still flying, man.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I didn't know. Either. I thought it was just like for important people
It's
who
like you
had to do
can't
it.
you can't go to work, but you can get on a plane and go wherever you want.
Yeah, you can go wherever the fuck you want.
It's-
Just don't work.
Isn't the shutdown that's happening in America kind of strange? Like, California shut down, New York is shut down, but the other states are kind of about it.
Yeah, I think so. But
So how are we gonna get on top of it if we're not all doing the same thing?
I think we're already further ahead than most. Like I've said before, I think that like China got a late start to it because the whole epidemic started there.
Right.
We got kind of a head start with like the social distancing stuff. We started putting laws in place and
But
put
America
checks
has
and
the most
balances.
deaths.
Now that I didn't know. Now this
yeah,
is
yeah.
also
we're,
just
we're at
personal
the front
opinion.
for-
I have no idea about a
forefront.
lot of the numbers. Oh my God!
We're at the
Luis.
forefront.
I wanted to show
Before we get into that real quick, I just wanted to talk to Trevin. We're at the forefront right now as far as the U.S. Like in the world, we have the most cases, we have the most deaths.
Yeah.
Shit's getting fucking crazy. Now moving on. Have you guys seen Drake's son Adonis?
Dude,
Yes, we talked about him once. a while ago.
Trevin had a question about the kid's hair. Like,
Is it blonde?
how is it blonde?
He's
when
not. Okay,
both
so this
parents
is
have black
Photoshop.
hair?
This is Photoshop.
Yeah, it is. But this explains Trevin's question.
This right here.
With Drake's Photoshop blonde. Too.
Yeah.
Drake's blonde, the wife's blonde. I mean,
Uh-huh.
not the wife, the BM's blonde, baby mama, and then the kid's blonde.
What nationality is the kid's mother?
She is a porn star.
Oh,
That's
well,
what
where I'm from,
nationality
too.
she is. I think she's white, maybe.
Okay,
I
because
think
the
she's
picture I
mixed.
saw,
That's
me
where
and
you're
Dash
from,
thought
too.
she was just light skinned.
I think she's mixed.
No,
And I was
she's
like,
not.
how did?
I don't think she's black. I'm pretty sure she's like straight white.
I was like, I guess two.
I mean, something
two
about
light
her
skinned
doesn't
people make a
look.
ginger. I don't know.
What's her
Right.
name? Sophie Brussau? Brussau?
I don't know.
Brussau?
Are they together?
No, they're not together. That was the whole thing. Do you remember when they found out he had a son, Meek Mill, him and
No.
Drake had that whole
I
battle and
just
shit?
assumed that every rapper
No.
has like
You mean
90
Pusha T?
baby mamas
Pusha
that
T,
they
thank
don't
you.
remember.
Probably.
Dude, this type of thing happens every day. Like, rappers find out they have babies from baby mamas they didn't want to have babies with. And
You know what? That reminds me. We were listening to Lil Wayne the other day, and he says, "I love my baby mamas. They get my highest honor. Got to take care of them kids, man. I know you heard Obama.
She's French.
And that's like
she's white.
That's like the most like fucked up shit anybody's ever said on the record. It's like, yeah, I got a hella kids. I don't know who they are, and you know,
but I got
best of luck to them.
But yeah, Sophie Brooksile. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I got tons of money, but as long as their moms are supporting them on you know,
wait,
stamps and shit.
Reg, did you say she's French? Therefore, she's
French.
white.
She's white,
dude. This goes back to an episode
Sophie
where
Brooksile.
we had an argument about like Drake's son's name, where you're like his son's name is Adonis because he had to deal with Adidas. That makes no sense, bro.
you remember that shit? No, okay, so this is
I didn't
why
know what the name was when we were having that conversation.
Obviously, but this is the thing. But he said he named like some shit Adidon. Do you not remember that Adidon?
Oh,
I don't remember that.
Okay. He did that shit. I don't know what it was about. I thought it was an Adidas deal, but then you showed me it was a Nike shit.
I was like,
Adidon is what he said in some song or some shit that he did.
you need a top off, Reg?
Yes, I do need a top off, is what she said.
but the thing I'm getting at is your reasoning. You're like,
Thank you.
he named his son Adidon because he has a deal with Adidas. And I was
Yeah.
like, that makes no
I
sense.
was fully convinced, my
Right.
man. I was fully convinced.
What person in their right mind would name their kid after an endorsement deal
Bro,
they had?
A lot of celebrities.
Thank you, Trevin.
That's
Give
what
me
I'm
one
saying. Like the
example.
idea makes
No,
sense.
give me one
Kanye's
example.
daughter is named North.
Yes, that's
Who the
not,
fuck?
that's not a record.
Northwest.
It's not
My
a
name is
company.
Northwest. Can you
She's
imagine
named
that kid's
after his last name. That makes sense.
No.
More sense.
Okay. I'll even give you that.
Yeah.
I'll even give you that, Dash. There is, I forget
But the idea
whose
is
kid
not
it was.
that far fetched because of what they named their kids.
I forget whose kid it was, but somebody's name is Apple.
Oh my god.
Apple. Dash.
I do recall that.
Oh, yeah.
That one
So
up
is
right
it too far fetched that somebody would name their kid Adidas or Adidon?
Whatever.
Yeah, but I didn't know anything about this when we were having the conversation before. But then
Yeah.
when I looked it up the other day, because I seen a meme about his kid,
Yeah.
and like I was like, oh,
Or are they saying that his kid would never be able to say the N-word?
no? I was just no. It's kind of like
They've been
related
bringing
to
that
that, but I might have to show you after the show. It's kind of
Yeah, maybe show me after the show, Trevin.
it's kind of a little inappropriate.
But bro, the memes that have been popping up about Drake's son, this is the reason why he didn't want people to know he had a
I
son
completely
in the first
get it.
place.
And that
Yeah.
makes total sense,
Yeah.
and I
completely
get that.
Completely get it.
So here we go bashing on
Because
his
this
son.
is
No,
a whole, let's bash this motherfucker. No, Carol Baskin.
No, but then when I started seeing this shit, like I was saying the other day, I was
Tripping
like,
myself
"Oh, his
out.
name's Adonis. That's a Greek god. That don't have nothing
Yeah.
to do with Adidas."
Have you seen Creed?
Yes.
His name's Adonis. Michael
Okay.
B. Jordan plays the guy.
Creed's
What was
son.
Apollo? Apollo Creed
Creed's
was
son.
the father.
Oh, okay.
The son's name is Adonis Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Creed-
that's
Creed is
really what it
dope, by
reminds.
the way.
Creed's fucking
Both
good.
of them. Michael B. Jordan is a dope actor.
He
Yeah,
is
he's
an
legit.
incredible actor.
I think he's gonna be like the next Mount Rushmore of actors, bro. Straight up.
Hey, you think so?
I think so. I think he's gonna be on like Denzel level
Sorry, let me get that up so that
when he gets to his
computer
prime.
stops making noise. Sorry, guys at home.
And
But-
in your car.
One thing I wanted to tell you guys real quick, or I wanted to bring up, like, there's still all that conspiracy out there, right? About like the coronavirus just being not necessarily a hoax, not like the disease itself is made up, but there's a lot of people that think, oh, we're overhyping this because it's a distraction from whatever's really going on in the world, and it's
People
like
still believe that?
the government trying to keep us in our house for 2 weeks so they can change the batteries in the birds.
I think that's you.
That's mostly me.
That's
No,
mostly
but you know what I mean? There's a lot of this conspiracy, like, oh, it's a distraction and whatever. I was thinking about it, man, and I was like, I was in deep thought today, and I was like, you know, we do have a Republican government.
Yeah.
That most people think is a democracy. Legitimately, the United States of America is a republic.
Yes.
And the idea of the republic is why we have states. So each state is supposed to have its own government that is locally run by its
Right.
citizens, so that the citizens of that area can make laws that make sense for that area.
Right.
Instead of having government in charge. And that's why a lot of people don't want the government in charge, and they're like, oh, well, we're just taking charge, and they're just like closing shit down and, just deciding they have all this power that wasn't decided on. The federal government's supposed to have little to no power and only there to keep the state governments in check.
Right.
But I got to thinking about it, and I was like, but it's not just our government. It's every government in the world, regardless of right or left leaning, regardless of Republican government, communist, socialist, libertarian. Everybody's on lockdown.
North Korea.
Yeah.
And that's weird to me that this is the first time in human history that every country's government has been on the same page about one issue.
Yeah.
And
I think, the first time.
maybe it is a conspiracy, but it's not the U.S. government. It's like the New World Order, right? And then I got to thinking,
can see that.
I was going out to have a cigarette when I was having these thoughts.
Uh-oh,
and
the tinfoil hat's coming up.
Oh, shit.
And the cigarette, like, I have, like, memes, like, I think in memes, okay?
That's dope.
So, like, do you remember Ice Age?
Yeah.
Like, the birds, the dodo birds, the last melon. And I don't have money for cigarettes for another week, and this was my last cigarette. And I'm thinking, like, am I just going to have to quit for, like, a week or just quit because, like, it's no sense starting again after that?
True that.
But at the same time, like, in a week when I get paid, even if I want to go get cigarettes, am I going to be able to by then?
Yeah, true.
And so, like, I'm having these thoughts, and I'm like, the last melon as I'm staring at the cigarette. And I go outside, and I'm like, what if the... Now, this is where the tinfoil hat really comes on.
Here we go.
What
Here
if
we go.
the movie Ice Age was
A post-apocalyptic.
prepared by the... It was engineered by the New World Order to teach the kids of this generation that are now adults while the end of the world is happening to go through the end of the world.
I think it's too complicated.
That is definitely a tinfoil hat thought, bro.
Dude,
I just had this thought today, and I had to bring it up with you
I
guys.
mean, it sounds far-fetched, but who knows at this point?
At the same time, literally, like, and of course, a lot of that is just silliness. But at the same time,
Yeah.
literally, that is so scary to me that this is the first time that we've been on the same page with every country on the planet.
Yeah.
Straight up. It's crazy that you were saying, how you were talking about how America's an actual republic and not necessarily a democracy.
But most people consider it a democracy.
Right. It's not
They teach you that in school.
technically what a democracy is. Right. So I'm agreeing with you on that point. But a while back there's this article that I read that talks about how North America is actually 11 different nations, not just 3. So normally North America is Canada, USA, and Mexico.
Sure.
But technically they have it split up based on region, based on religious factors, based on political factors, based on everything. And it's crazy because some of them are even called, like where I'm from, would be considered the Deep South. That's what nation I'd be coming from. Over here, I think it's like, I can't remember what it is, just the West, or there's a Northwest, and then there's like a new, obviously a New England, but there's also a New Amsterdam, New
Mexico.
all types of, not necessarily New Mexico. I think Mexico is part of, I'd have to reread it.
There's also states that
actually,
are
here it is.
practically their own countries, like Texas.
Like
is
Texas, yes.
So I'll
technically
go.
not really a part of the United States.
Texas is in 2. Texas is in El Norte, and also in the Deep South, according to this map here. You see it?
What is that map, by the way? For the
The
viewers?
11. It's a thank you. So the map that I'm looking at, if you guys want to follow along, is the 11 nations of North America. So just Google that. You'll see that there's the left coast, which is part of Washington, part of Oregon, part of Cali.
It's very slim. It's just
Very
the coastline
slim.
all the way down.
There's also the far west, which is where we are. That
looks like the
includes
largest one in
part of
America.
the largest one includes part of Canada. We also have First Nation, which is really just Canada, the right side of Canada. The Midlands, New France, Yankeedom, New Netherland, that's what it is, not Amsterdam. New Netherland, the Midlands, Greater Appalachia, Deep South, which is where I'm from, there's a New France, which is where New Orleans is, obviously, in Louisiana.
That kind of makes sense.
Exactly.
When you think about New England, like
Mhm.
New York and all the, like,
Yeah.
northeastern states, like,
Yeah.
I'm walking here. Like,
Yay.
you think of, like, New England.
Exactly.
like-
And then the further south you
Philadelphia,
go,
like
it's like more
settlers.
French.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the French Quarter in Louisiana and so
Well, it's
forth.
just like France is so strange to Europe, like I'm guessing, as like New Orleans culture is to the rest of the United States.
Yeah.
Like
I
they're
guess.
just a little bit different.
You've never been to New Orleans, right?
Or
any
France.
You've never France.
I
Have
always
you
say
ever
that
been
I've
to
never really been out of Utah, but I
Louisiana?
have. I've been just over the border to Soda Springs, Idaho, to the north, which is
Right.
like 2 hours from here.
I've been to
And
Bear
it's
Lake, Idaho.
not that much different, so I don't consider it really going out of state. It's barely over the border, and a lot of my family lives there. But then I've been to like Grand Junction, Colorado, a couple of times for Country Jam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a country music festival.
Right.
It lasts like 4 days. I
Hey,
went
I'm no
there-
stranger to country. I'm from the fucking deep south, bro.
You ever been to Country Jam?
I've never been to country jam. No, I've been to country shit.
Have you
but
been to
I've never
Country
did.
Fan Fest?
No,
They're like similar events. but
I'm not gonna go to a country concert. That's also a lie. I just lied right then. I've been to a couple country concerts. I'm not gonna go to a country festival. I'd say.
Sure. A lot of drunk rednecks that.
Pretty much, and being black.
Yeah, that's where I was going, but I wasn't trying to take it all the way there.
I appreciate.
So thank
it.
you.
No, thank you.
But no, like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, just being around a bunch of drunk rednecks, and not all of
Yeah.
them are racist, but you never know.
You
in
never
that
fucking
crowd
know.
for sure.
Dash,
Oh.
do you listen to country music?
No, but the Confederate flag scares me. If I see
Scares
that-
me, and I'm white.
Yeah, there's a huge Confederate flag down in Birmingham, Alabama, which is about an hour and 17 minutes away from where like I grew up. But it's like a staple to the state.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Confederate flag is like the biggest flag in the state. And then they have, of course, the statues and shit.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on that, being from the South? I know there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that say it's not racist, it's just part of American history that we
Yeah,
need to remember.
I've heard that too.
What do you think? As like a black guy who's also from the South.
Who's also from now? That's the caveat: the fact that I'm from the South, and I used to go mud riding, and I took care of horses and shit.
So you're a true Southern boy.
True
lived like
motherfucking
them.
Southern
You
boy.
lived amongst them.
I did live amongst them, Dash. There are some people in the South who do not look at the flag and think racist thoughts. I'll just fucking go ahead and say it. There are people who do not think that. There are people who just think, oh, this is a banner of the South. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I understand those people. And then there are people who wear the flag because of what it represented before the
Civil War.
Civil War. Thanks. I was gonna say the Revolutionary War. Civil War. That's a whole
fuck
different
the Tea
thing.
Party.
But before the Civil War, like you said, there are people who take it and remember those times and wear it in commemoration of those times. It's hard to tell which people are wearing it because of what reason, unless you have a conversation with them. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
But when you see it like hanging out of the back of a pickup truck, you
Oh, it's a bad
assume
taste in my
racism?
mouth.
Yeah.
I don't assume racism. I assume racism.
Ignorance, at least,
I
at
assume
the very
racism. No, it's racism, bro.
Dude,
No,
I get
seriously,
it.
though.
I just-
Seriously though, ignorance. That's my assumption.
And
Yeah.
I work with someone who's from Texas, and they've explained to me that's not what it stands for.
Mhm.
But it's like in the media, I've seen certain things,
Mhm.
and it's like in my mind, so I cannot erase that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
It just goes back to like what I said earlier. Some people just don't look at it that way,
Yeah.
and these people are not necessarily racist,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have a lot of friends, even a lot of friends who voted for Trump that I like from back at home. We still talk. I'm not gonna fucking disown you as a friend because you have a
Political
different
views.
opinion
Sure.
and different political view. Yeah.
Okay.
Than me. I'm not gonna fucking disown you. That's what makes the world go round. Different perspectives.
Yes.
And personally, I search for different perspectives. I think you can
100,
learn
100.
something,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what perspective it's from, even if it's exactly the opposite of what you believe or what you think or what you know to be true.
Everyone
You can
knows
learn
something you don't.
Sure.
Exactly. And Bill Burr says that. Shouts out.
Shouts
to
out.
Bill Burr.
But going back to that, not even going back to that. We're gonna move on.
Okay, let's move on.
Devil's Advocate, you guys
Let's do
down?
Remind me, we have a music engineer, Will, here at the studio, who actually stays here at the compound with us.
like that
Remind me
name,
to let
the
him know
compound.
to get us some
compound.
music
That sounds so dope.
for
Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate. Yes,
For sure.
sure.
We'll hit him up after the podcast. Devil's Advocate, everybody. Welcome to Devil's Advocate. Today's this is a great segment. Today's question is: would you guys rather survive the apocalypse or be taken out? So here's the background on that question, right? Me and Terrence, you guys know him. He was on episode 12, I think.
He
Tez
wasn't
was on
episode.
episode 10 or
9.
11.
It was
Nine.
Corona series.
Terrence was
11?
on Corona series
The
with
first
us.
episode of Corona
That's right.
series.
You guys out there listening, you know when he was. But that's my roommate. So Terrence and I got into this conversation about if this shit was technically the zombie apocalypse, because we were watching Zombieland. Why not?
Okay.
Netflix. That's what I've been watching on Netflix, by the way. The new Zombieland.
Oh, I was just about to ask. No.
Right. But we got into this conversation. If Corona was the beginning of zombies, right? Would you want to survive the apocalypse? Would you want to be taken out? So I'm gonna go ahead and answer first, give you guys a little bit of time to kind of think about it. So for me, I told him I'd rather be gone out on the third wave. Right? So technically, how I look at it, we're in the first wave right now. This is still the first wave. Shit's still functioning. We have grocery stores. We have people that's working. And we have government. Second wave, government, no more. Right? We don't have-
Infrastructure, no more grocery stores gone.
exactly. Things are starting to fall.
No
Starting
order.
to fall.
Money has
There's
no
no
value.
order. Okay.
Not yet. Money having no value is wave 3.
Okay.
That's how I view it. But the infrastructure starting to fall is the second wave. Wave 3, banks have no money. Have no value.
People start
Money
looting.
has no value. People start looting. People start. This is
Goes back to actual usable goods. And,
Exactly.
And
And
paper
people-
is worthless.
people are starting to kill people.
Oh.
Okay.
Right? They're starting to kill people.
Okay.
So this is based on if there are 5 waves. People are starting to kill people. Fourth wave, people are fucking killing people and taking your goods and shit. It's starting to get to The Walking Dead. Fifth wave, Walking Dead.
Okay.
Completely.
Completely
And when I
just
say Walking Dead, I
Back
mean
to living
for
off
10
the,
years
the
it's
land
been,
and surviving.
Yeah, for 10
Okay.
years it's been that way.
Okay.
So I'd rather be gone on the third wave. After everything, the infrastructure has crumbled, money has no value, people are starting to kill each other. After that, I don't want to survive. Fuck that shit.
I don't know. I see it in both ways.
Yep.
But I think I'd want to survive. Now,
All the way through?
is this just is the situation that we're basing the question off of purely zombie apocalyptic or just apocalyptic in general?
See, I've been thinking zombie. What would your regular apocalypse
Well,
be?
think the movie 2012, the motion picture.
I think, okay, so here's the thing.
Anything in between that and zombies.
Here's the thing. I think that what I just described, those 5 stages, can be regular apocalypse or zombie apocalypse.
So natural disaster,
Yeah.
viral pandemic,
Makes sense.
zombies,
I think it could be
or
everything.
anything else.
I
I think as I wouldn't necessarily call myself an atheist. I'm more of, I guess you would consider agnostic. I don't necessarily
believe in anything?
shut down God, but I
Okay.
don't believe in anything necessarily that I haven't seen proof of.
There's a
But
higher
he has a
power, but
Bible.
you don't have the
It could
proof.
be, yeah, sure.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I'm not
He has a
disregarding the
Bible at
idea.
the
He has a
same time.
Bible?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did
Well,
you
I
read
used
Genesis?
to be a heavily Christian, and I studied the Bible. But I also went through a period in my life where I studied all religions and
Right.
found this is where I got my roots in atheism. I realized that almost every religion tells the exact same story. If the son was born
Yes.
3 days, or he risen 3 days after his death, and he was,
That's the gist of every
the whole,
religion.
yeah. So they're all just different interpretations of the same story, and it's all, oh, my side's true. No, my side's true. I'm going to heaven.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
And they don't subscribe to any of that necessarily.
Right.
Now, as
I
somebody,
have something about that I want to say after you get done talking.
okay, as somebody who doesn't have any religious faith or believe in anything above myself or what I can see here in front of me,
Right.
I think that what life is a scientific chemical reaction that we can't even explain, but
Yes.
That's crazy. I've literally been thinking that
I
this
think
past
like,
week.
and I don't know
Because
if
of
it's
Einstein?
something that's common that happens in the vastness of space, like every so often this happens, or if we're extremely rare. Whatever it is, what we have here on this planet right now is special.
Yes.
And in the span of existence
funny.
of time and the entire universe existing, what human existence and the history of human existence in the span of all that time is nothing but a pinpoint.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
so, and considering how little that, I mean, you know, a lot of religious people say, well, you know, well, how do you wake up in the morning? How do you have meaning to your life if you don't believe in God? And I think it has that much more meaning because I don't have anything going on after this. I have to make the most of right now. I have to
right
make
now.
this count. I have to make this last because there's nothing else. You know, so in my mind, like I'm thinking, you know, the small period of human history that we have experienced on this earth, most of the people that existed during that time didn't get to see how it ended. And so I would be honored to experience that
Right. Okay.
on behalf of humanity.
Damn, that's a wild thought.
It
to
is,
answer.
right?
Yeah,
So Dash, I hope you don't mind. Real quick, I just wanted to interject.
I do mind.
You do mind? You bitch. You bitch, Carol Baskin.
Mine is short though.
This Carol Baskin. now in
Mine is
Florida.
short.
Okay, go ahead.
So my answer is scientific. So I've been chilling with the homie Will and Trevor more recently.
Uh-huh.
They taught me how to play zombies, so I'm writing it out.
Okay.
Oh, we've been playing
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty Zombies.
I'm writing it out until I'm out. You know what I'm saying.
So you're going through phase 5, phase
Yes.
6.
Yes, whatever I gotta
Got
do,
you,
bro.
got you.
Whatever I gotta do.
So
'cause,
you're the motherfucker out here killing people
well, I'm defending myself, bro.
to survive.
Yeah.
See, okay. Defending yourself, I think that's after, like, that's phase 3. That leaves with phase 3. Phase 4 starts with you got to kill people to get shit. So I'm with you. I'll kill a motherfucker to defend myself. I
Yeah.
feel you on that.
But yeah, like, dude, I feel like when it gets to the point of like no order, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to stay alive because
you.
that's a human thing. You wanna survive.
Self-preservation for sure.
Self-preservation, bro.
And I get that.
Yeah.
So that's me all the way.
And on that note, I don't think that I would welcome the end with open arms necessarily, but I think there's a certain level of like understanding and accepting.
Yeah, definitely a
happening.
certain level of
But also, like, I don't think most people have thought it through that much. That, like, you know, it really would be an honor to be one of the few to experience the way that we end.
Yeah, that would be crazy. An honor, yes. Crazy, yes.
Still terrifying.
Exactly. No, but what I wanted to say, you were talking about how religions are basically, they stem from the same thing, right?
Sure.
So I have a theory on religion. I don't share with many people. But here's my theory, and I'll just close it out with this. So imagine there is a tower, right? Just a huge fucking tall ass motherfucking tower. Okay. And there are windows placed everywhere, like just sporadically around the tower. That way I can get like, there's a window placed at my height, there's a window placed at your height, a window placed at your height, Dash, you know, just around sporadically. And depending on where my view is, my perspective, it changes. Yes. Yeah. My perspective changes depending on which window I'm looking in. But inside the tower is the same exact thing. The same exact thing. And that represents religion. That's how I feel about it.
It's like everybody's got
a
side
piece
to the same story.
Everybody's got
like,
a
no,
piece.
I'm right. Well,
Yes.
no, I'm right. Well, why can't everybody be right? I get that too.
I just think that there's, like I said, a piece. Everybody can see a piece of the religion. Not necessarily the whole aspect. You know what I mean? That's how I look at religion.
That makes total sense.
There's a wise man called Drake who once said, "We live in the same building, but we got different views."
Different views. Views from the 6, baby.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen,
close it out for us, Dash.
Thank you for watching Convosaries episode 14.
Thank you.
Yes, please tune in next week.
And every week.
And this was your host,
Reg Travels.
and we got
the chosen one.
And we got Dash McCorder. Follow me on all platforms. Hit me up on TikTok. Thank you and see you next week.
Wait. Do the Convosaries. They gotta follow us on Convosaries.
Oh, and you gotta follow us on Convosaries. This is my first time doing this.
At Convosaries on Instagram. Hit us up at Convosaries on Gmail.
And hit us up
Hell yeah.
on YouTube because all our
yeah.
videos on there now.
Yeah, so if you want to see what we look like or what we look like when we're talking.
It's actually, I've been looking at the footage, and it's a lot more entertaining than just hearing us speak.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks, Dash, for closing us out. Thank you, Trevin, for being Trevin. We'll see you guys later. Holler. Peace.
Another one down the hatch.
Yay.